Welcome to the Dice Tower, a video cast all about the world of board games and the people who play them. This is the 2010 edition of our annual Top 100 Board Games of All Time, featuring the Vassal family.
Top 80% now, numbers 80 through 76 today. We're doing 5 of my top 100 games and 5 of Melody's. We're mixing them back and forth so you can get a glimpse of the difference between what a 10-year-old will pick and what a 34-year-old would pick. Enough talk about us. Let's look at the games.
Number 80 is Snuggling Knights.
Okay, this game comes with the Dice Tower, which makes it really cool in my book. On this Dice Tower, the game's really simple. Players are rolling a die on their turn. Shows how many knights of their color they're going to be throwing into this tower. But every once in a while, that player is going to roll the trapdoor. At which point they pull out the trapdoor on this. The pieces come out, and if any piece falls in one of these holes, they're dead forever. And any other pieces, they've captured. Ho, 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 ho. And that's basically the game. But come on, tell me that's not cool.
I like this game because you're trying to roll the die to see how many pieces you are putting in the dice tower, which I really like about the game. And I think it's really cool of how you're trying to trap other knights. And the strategy for this game is trying to put as many knights in the dice tower as you can, so that when the trapdoor is out, the knights will come out, and it'll be most likely that some of your knights won't go in the hole. Number 80, Shadowhunters.
Shadowhunters is a game which really doesn't have any fantastic components. In fact, probably could be contained in a much smaller card box than this. But each player takes on a secret role at the beginning of the game. One person is the shadow, another person is a hunter, and there's some neutral people, but you don't know who is who. As the game goes by, you're basically fighting with one another, attacking one another with cards, not physically. And at the end of the game, or once someone dies, we reveal out who they are. And if the shadows kill all the hunters, the shadows win. If the hunters kill all the shadows, then the hunters win. And if the neutral meets whatever the requirement might be, which might be the only one left alive, or be the first one to die, or some kind of weird thing, then that neutral person wins. So there's a lot of give and back. It's very light, but very fun, with a lot of tenseness as who exactly is who. A fun one, and this is the third year in my top 100. It deserves to be there.
Number 79 is Monkey Memory.
Monkey Memory is a game in which slowly each turn you put out a pile of cards, and other players are going to have to pick which of these cards has no match. And then everyone will pick on a card which of them has no match, and the player who is correct will get points. Although I think in this one, yep, only one. It's the banana. Can you see it up there in the corner? Now you can play as the vassals play, where you only ever show one card at a time, which makes it much harder. You know, like this. Okay, I hope everyone's watching. And then which one of these did you only see one time? Of course, I don't think we ever play this fast. And the answer there was the book bag. Everyone has a card in which they will point to which one they think. It's revealed, and then that person gets a point card. Very simple. Very difficult, especially when you're playing sharp-eyed young.
This game is a very simple and difficult game at the same time. The Vassal game that we like to play at times can be difficult, and it is fun. It's just that I just really like this game. Don't you? Number 79, Carcassonne.
Having been on the list for 6 years and well-deserved Carcassonne. A lot of people don't like Carcassonne. They think it's too light, or I don't know, maybe it's just fallen out of favor. This box doesn't even have everything in the game anymore. It has just boxes and boxes. You know, instead of a few meeples, you can see that I got containers with meeples and builders and traders and a pig and a special tile. I have every expansion, basically, and all the expansions are a lot of fun. So I actually have to fit it into 3 different boxes now but it's worth it. Carcassonne is one of those games that you just put down a tile and build a city. To see that city grow and expand is a lot of fun. Granted, I don't play this game much with anyone other than my wife anymore because we have so many expansions in it, and that's a lot of rules to teach, but with her it has become a very tense, exciting two-player game. I very much like Carcassonne.
Number 78 is Sumo Ham Slam.
In Sumo Ham Slam, which I've done a full review on in a video, you have these little hamsters that have magnets on the bottom of them. And so you're putting them on the court, and then you put a magnet underneath yours, and you're trying to push the other guy out 3 times. The game has a little mechanic where you're rolling a dice, and sometimes you get to put food in your guys, which make them heavier, which makes them harder to knock over. It's very simple and fun, and you get to use magnets to move pieces around.
I like this game because you're using magnets, little holder thingies, to move the hamsters around. And I like of how you put pellets inside the hamster so it can get heavier and the other one will fall off instead of you. And the best part is you're fighting the other hamsters. Win! Number 78, Runebound.
Runebound is another game that's been on the list 6 years in a row, and it's for good reason. It's a fantasy adventure game, and there's problems with the game, and I understand that, and yet it's still my top 100 list. It's way too long with more than 3 players, so I don't play it with more than 3 players. There's not a lot of interaction, so I don't go into it expecting a lot of interaction, but it is fun to watch other people. And in a sense, it's almost like when you play with 2 or 3 players, that you're each having your own fantasy adventure, and it's a race to see who can complete theirs first. And there's all kinds of weapons and traps, and especially when you add in all these expansions, I think the official count is up to 294 million expansions at this point. There is a lot of them. Some of them change the scenario, some of them change the background. I don't usually get those. I get ones that add more weapons and more items and more stuff. And even if they never made another expansion, there's so much Runebound stuff out there, and the universe has become so popular that Fantasy Play is now using it in many of their games. So, all that being said, I like a good fantasy adventure. This is one of the best, Runebound.
Number 77 is Grab Bag.
Grab Bag is a very simple game in which you take a pile of different colored but mostly shaped items and put them in a bag. You then have this bag to pull pieces out of. Everyone has a bag, and on your turn, you flip over the top thing of a stack of tiles, and everyone feels in their bags trying to feel that correct piece. Yeah! I found it first, and Melody pulled out the wrong one, so I get a point there. It's very simple. You can play in other ways too, putting the pieces back in, but you'll never know. See, there's the pink one, Melody, or here, the bow tie. And so again, we both go in, and Melody gets the bow tie first.
Yay! I like this game because you're feeling around for the right piece, and sometimes it can be tricky because you might pull out the wrong piece because it feels the same thing, but I really like this game because I really like of how the pieces look and feel exactly the same thing as the pieces on the circles, and you're trying to get the most points by getting the right thing out, and of course, no peeking. Number 77, right, that's 100. Breite
is a bicycle racing game, and it's one of the few games that hasn't been published in English that's on my top 100 list. I mean, there's quite a few games that are made in other countries, but usually the best ones are reprinted in English. Unfortunately, this one never was. I don't understand it. It's a lot of fun. The artwork on it looks almost like it's from Mad Magazine. It comes with this gigantic board, this big racetrack board, and you're racing bicycles by rolling dice to see how far they move. There's nothing really amazingly spectacular about the game except that you can draft other players, and so you have to know when to stop following a fast player and move around them and take the lead. Add some cards to it, a few random events, and the game can be a lot of fun. It's certainly silly. The fact that you control 4 racers is fun because if one of them does terrible, hopefully the other 3 do well enough to give you the race. A very great racing game, Reifen Breite.
Number 76 is Drops and Co.
Drops and Co. is just a game that looks cool. What you're trying to do is you're trying to take these candy drops, and get them into these little metal containers that you have here at the bottom. And so you'll be doing that by turning these cranks, and so it drops down to the next level, and eventually, hopefully it falls into your bucket. And when you do that with a lot of candy, I mean, that's basically the game. There's some strategies in some ways that you can roll it, but basically it's just the cool factor of watching the candy drop from one conveyor belt to the next. I should mention that the game comes with a really, really cool 6-sided die that shows how many levers you can move and can you move your bucket around. Pretty neat. Actually, it's a 4-sided die, isn't it? Alright, well, it's still pretty cool.
I like this game because you're twisting little knobs to move the conveyor belt to drop the little candies to the next level, and I really like of how you do it and how the candy drops into the bin. And by the way, who doesn't like candy? Number 76, David and the Goliath.
The last 3 games I talked about were have been on my top 100 list for the last 6 years. David and Goliath has only been on there for 4 years, but of all these games that I've been talking about, this is one I suspect will be on my top 100 list for the next 10 years. I could be wrong, but it's a fantastic trick-taking game. You can play up to 6 players, but as few as 3. And the game doesn't really have anything that's great. It's just cards that are numbered from 1 to 18 in different color suits, showing pictures of David, although as the numbers get bigger, David slowly morphs into Goliath. Not sure what kind of statement that's trying to make, but the game's simple. We play cards, I play, everyone has to follow suit. Unless they don't have it, then you play anything you want. The highest number, regardless of what the color is, wins all the cards, except for the lowest number. Whoever plays that number gets the highest card. You're trying to get up to 2 cards of each color, not more. Otherwise, they're not worth as many points. It's a very simple point scoring system, but very satisfying. Seems chaotic when you first play it, but the more you play it, the more strategy you know that's in it. Great, great game, David and Goliath. Alright, we're 1/4 of the way done. So, there's still a lot of games left to go. But we'll be back very shortly with our next 5 or 10. 5 for me, 5 for her.
Tune into our next show for more Top 10 gaming goodness, or check out our website at www.thedicetower.com for more reviews and Top 10 lists. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Number 79.
Carcassonne.
Number 89.
Number 79.
Number 80.
Number 79.
Number 79. I forgot the name.
Carcassonne.
Okay, I forgot the name. Number 80.
Number 79.
Number 79. I keep on forgetting.
Carcassonne.